Let's talk about how your firms offer a solution that can help companies fight fraud, both ad fraud, click fraud, and of course, maintain compliance in efforts in retaining customer information. Could you give the audience a sense of how Anura and Contact Center Compliance help firms who are actively collecting and retaining customer information?
Well, I'll obviously talk on the fraud side of things. So our job is really to identify, like when you're collecting information, obviously you want to collect it from the actual individual. You know, if somebody else comes along, what we see is a human fraud farm comes along or a bot comes along and fills out a form with somebody else's information, that creates all kinds of problems. So our job is at the very top of the funnel to try to maintain and keep cleanliness of the data coming in and out of the marketing funnel. And when it comes to that side, that's what we focus on. We really answer one question: who's behind the keyboard? Is it real or is it fake? And that's the one thing that we focus on. And that's all we focus on. I know that Isaac, you focus on a complementary side of the business, but something a little bit different. So I'll let you pick up on your side.
Absolutely. You know, once your data has been captured, there's a lot to keep in mind. Is the data fully accurate? Does it match up to the person? You know, from the personal information perspective, is everything lined up? How long is that information good for? That information could become outdated pretty quickly, and we can talk about that a little bit more as we go through. So, a big part of what we do is helping make sure that your data is accurate and in line with who you should be calling and who you want to be calling. And then, of course, once you start placing those phone calls, are your calls getting through, or are you getting labeled as a fraudulent caller? So we talk about fraudulent leads. There's also the misrepresentation of fraudulent callers, and based on some of your lead buying or lead acquisition processes, that can actually give you a higher likelihood of being labeled or mislabeled, really, as a spammer or scammer. And we can get into that more as we go through this.